that side. I'm going to take a gentleman from this side and a lady from this side, and then you'll make your question very, very short. Yeah, okay, the brother there, yeah. Please step to the mic, and then the sister, the sister here, and the brother there. No, I mean the brother here. Yes, please step to the mic. So let's take the lady first. Make the question very short. Introduce yourself, and then make your question very short, and then the brother wearing the dark. The brother wearing the dark suit. Well, okay, the brother wearing the dark suit first, and then you can stay behind it if you come back. The brother wearing the dark suit, so we take the lady. Please mention your name, make your question very direct and quick, and then we go to the gentleman. Yes,
good evening, everyone. My name is Bola Awoshika Oyile. Welcome, Prof. As you can tell, all of us are interested in the affairs of Nigeria. I am one of those who left Nigeria planning to spend only 4 years out of Nigeria. That was in 1985. I'm still here today. And some of us, we all want to go back. We're all interested, we're connected, we want to go back. But while we're here, my question to you and to the Buhari government is this. One of the unfulfilled promises of the Jonathan administration is that the likes of us will be able to vote in the affairs of Nigeria. My question to you, sir, is this. While we're not going to be able to cut the umbilical cord that binds us to Nigeria, but we still want to be able to vote, what will your government do so that the likes of us can have a meaningful impact in our country? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Professor Wale Awodiya. I was in Baltimore and I asked a couple of questions, but I'm going to summarize my question into one. The professor is a luminary, he's a lawyer, and when he answered my question the other time, he referred to legal terms and what the courts have done in Nigeria to bar the military from intervening or being used to conduct this election. And I asked that, what if they are planning another Ekiti scenario for this election? We like this platform. We hope you succeed. As a matter of fact, we wish to call you His Excellency in 2 weeks. For the people you are dealing with, do play rough. So what are we going to do?
All right. Thank you, sir. I'll take the gentleman again. Prof. Respond.
My name is Wale Fashion. I happened to come into the United States a few weeks ago, and I was part of June 12 struggle. My question is this: what is your party doing, sir, to make sure that what happens to June 12 does not happen to 2015? Because we knew definitely you are going to win. That's why they postponed and postponed and postponed. But they are doing their planning. What is the party doing to make sure June 12 is not repeat itself?
So let's allow Prof to take those 3 questions, and then we will come back to you. What do you say?
Voting by people in the diaspora, some form of absentee voting, is obviously one thing that we in the APC agree with, but we also believe that we need an APC majority in the National Assembly to be able to pass it into law. But secondly, we agree with it, we've been in support of it, and we believe that for most people who are outside the country, as a matter of fact, some of the polls of people done outside the country would have won the elections long ago if the voting was done, and that's the way it is. And it's because people outside the country can look at things very objectively and compare their own situation.
It's a good time to clap.
Compare their own situation and circumstances to what is going on at home and see what good government can do. So we are completely convinced that diaspora voting or absentee voting is absolutely right thing to do, and we hope that the majority in the National Assembly and APC majority will be able to pass this into law. The Ekiti scenario which you described is, for those who may not know, Recently, there were a tape recording has been on the internet, which shows how government ministers in the ruling party connived with the most senior military person in charge of operations in the Ekiti elections to rig the elections. And these were secretly taped recording, which showed how they planned to arrest leaders of the APC 24 hours to the elections, and they effected it, and other things that they planned to do, which clearly showed that there was connivance between the ruling party and the candidate, even the candidate of the ruling party, and the senior military and security officials who conducted the election. Now that is something that we've been fighting against, and we've been saying will not be acceptable. I had said earlier that the Court of Appeal in Nigeria has ruled in our favor, saying that the military should not be deployed to polling booths and for election purposes. The reason is that we strongly believe that some senior members of the military have decided that they will protect and work with this administration. And that's what we've been seeing, especially with senior members of the government. The Minister of Defense, Minister of State for Defense at that time, Minister of State Police at that time, and several others who galloped up and connived with the candidate of the ruling party and senior officials in the military. Now, all that we can do is what we're doing. Namely, we've gone to the courts. We have an order of the court, which we expect will be complied with. We have been speaking out to members of the party, speaking out to the press. We've been speaking to our friends in the international community, those who are saying we want peaceful, orderly elections, we want to see this done right and all that, and who are saying that there should be free and fair elections. And we're saying that there are minimum conditions for free and fair election. One of the minimum conditions is that you cannot deploy troops, especially when we have seen what happened in Ekiti, and we have evidence of it for the world to see. Secondly, we've insisted on the use of the card reader. This is an authentication device that just shows, that just helps you to show at accreditation when you want to vote. You put your card into the card reader, and it shows whether it's an authentic card or not. That's all. And the ruling party insists that no, they don't want to use the card reader. And the card reader has been used in previous elections.
I think the reason is because somebody said PVC stands for Please Vote for Change.
That's a good one. I never heard of that. And I think that really, at the end of the day, that is an absolute essential, because otherwise, a lot of the rigging that we fear may take place, because you may then have cards that are fake being used. The third thing is that we insist that after voting, because voting is counted at the polling unit, after voting we insist that voters should remain, watch the counting of the votes, and hear the announcement of the votes so everyone knows what happened at every polling unit. We have been hearing that they don't want that to happen, and they're saying that voters must leave the polling booths. So these are some of the important conditions that we think will make for free and fair elections. And we've been insisting that our international friends and members of the community, international community, should impress it upon the government that those are minimum conditions for a fair and fair election. Aside from that, we've been telling the people, just as it happened in Osun State, at the end of the day, it's the people who will defend the ballot. It's the people themselves, because the Nigerian people themselves who will do so. A political party can only educate in the way we're educating, and we can only encourage in the way we're encouraging. At the end of the day, it is the people themselves, the voter himself or herself, who will defend the ballot, as it happened in Osun State. People of Osun State rose and defended the ballot, and that's how come the outcome was what it turned out to be. And it was, to every intent and purpose, a fair outcome, because the people insisted that they would not go home until they saw everything happen and counted the votes and all that. And that's what happened at the end of the day. So we think that that will be the case. And I think the same is true of what happened with June 12th. June 12th was annulled. The election was free and fair. The party that won actually won, the candidate won, and after the victory, it was annulled. In fact, they refused to announce the result, despite the fact that everyone knew what the results were. But we think that all that we can do is what we're doing at the moment, saying that never again, this will be unacceptable to the Nigerian people, it will be unacceptable to the international community as well. And these are the kinds of things that we're saying. I think that times have changed since 1993. The international community is a lot firmer. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, has somehow weighed in and has said that encouragement to violence and encouragement to disruption may well become a crime or may be treated as a crime. I think that some of the pressure that the international community can bring to bear will help a great deal in ensuring that we don't have a repeat of the June 12 scenario. But any other strategy or strategies, of course, I cannot disclose to the entire world. But I must say that at the end of the day, it's people who will make the difference.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Give a big round of applause. I have a question here from Adewale Olasunboye. He's a PhD student from Harvard and he actually identifies himself that he's from the state of Osun. He says that accident occurrences on Nigerian roads are pronounced and they claim hundreds of lives regularly. How will your government develop an effective and sustainable road infrastructure for Nigeria within the shortest possible time? Now, I also like the sister. The sister was on the queue here. Where is she? Please put in your questions.